Hey y'all, it's Cam again. So yesterday I showed several videos of people saying they got either fired or expelled from school for speaking out, saying vile things really on the internet about Charlie Kirk and being aggressive at vigils and tearing people's stuff down and all this is nonsense, right? Well, now we've got the whole cancel culture or free speech debate going on. Holy hell. What did they do during COVID? Censored people. You were taken offline. And I think they even said that the White House even had social media back doors to basically go in and say this person's doing misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation. And this is stuff that's been proven. I think you can even just go and look it up, ask ChatGPT or Google. But anyway, so right here it says, I don't want to hear anyone on the left cry about how concerned they are about free speech. Obviously, the true meaning of free speech means that the government cannot come and prosecute you for what you say online or anywhere else for that matter. That does not mean that a private company cannot separate from you, like fire you or get you out of their school if you're promoting violence or saying stuff about just glorifying death. Who the hell wants to work with somebody? That's like it's a heart issue or a character issue that needs to be addressed. They don't have to work with you. But anyway, right here, this was from 2021 when Donald Trump was actually banned off of Twitter when it was still Twitter. Now it's X. So that's one area with the free speech where they want to debate that kind of stuff. And then here, this person says, or free speech in the U.S. Oh, this is Rob Schneider. Free speech in the U.S. means the government cannot punish you for what you say. It doesn't mean you're free from all consequences. Private individuals, employers, and organizations can still respond to your words, disagree, or impose their own consequences. So this is actually talking about Jimmy Kimmel losing his show, but they said it's actually because of the ratings, but he's got a low viewership. This is just what I'm hearing. You can go look this stuff up if you so choose. It says Sinclair, the nation's largest ABC affiliate group, objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the assassination of Charlie Kirk. As discussed with ABC earlier today, Sinclair decided to indefinitely preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live beginning tonight. Following these discussions, ABC suspended production of Jimmy Kimmel Live. Mr. Kimmel's remarks were inappropriate and deeply insensitive at a critical moment for our country, said Vice Chairman Jason Smith. We believe broadcasters have a responsibility to educate and elevate respectful, constructive dialogue in our communities. We appreciate FCC Chairman Carr's remarks today, and this incident highlights the critical need for the FCC to take immediate regulatory action to address control held over local broadcasters by the big national networks. Sinclair's ABC stations will air a special in remembrance of Charlie Kirk this Friday during Jimmy Kimmel Live's time slot. The special will also air across all Sinclair stations this weekend. In addition, Sinclair is offering the special to all ABC affiliates across the country. Sinclair will not lift the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live on our stations until formal discussions are held with ABC regarding the network's commitment to professionalism and accountability. Sinclair also called upon Mr. Kimmel to issue a direct apology to the Kirk family. Furthermore, we asked Mr. Kimmel to make a meaningful personal donation to the Kirk family and Turning Point USA. Regardless of ABC's plans for the future of the program, Sinclair intends not to return Jimmy Kimmel Live to our air until we are confident that appropriate steps have been taken to uphold the standards expected of a national broadcast platform. Well, that's good for them, I guess. Let's go back. I just want to make sure. Okay, let's see. Leftists are melting down. over ABC or Disney and ABC pulling Jimmy Kimmel, saying it's a violation of free speech. But they were radio silent when Disney fired Gina Carano, I think is her name, for speaking out against COVID mandates, and they can all shut the hell up. I mean, that's the thing. It's like they do something like basically shut down the entire country over COVID and then shut down conversations around COVID, even censored doctors and stuff on social media that were saying you could probably use like ivermectin or whatever, some other cure, I guess, or something to help minimize the symptoms. And those doctors were shut down completely, like taken off all social media. I mean, shut the hell down. They did not want people getting healed from that other than through this jab. And then all the stuff that was going on during the Biden administration, that's really when all of this kind of popped up. And then they did have like a back door into the social media platforms. I think even Mark Zuckerberg said that they would constantly call and cuss them out and tell them they better take certain things off or they weren't going to get something. I don't know, whatever they were doing, or they would be fined or something. Anyway, so this one says, where were the free speech leftists when this happened? Yeah, account suspended. This is the right wing angel. It says the people who are calling ABC canceling Jimmy Kimmel over lying about Charlie Kirk's killer, an attack on free speech, are the same people who cheered when ABC canceled Roseanne over a joke. Yeah. Let's see. No, Harry J. Sisson, the most brazen attack on free speech was murdering Charlie Kirk. What you are seeing now are consequences and accountability. That's what I've been saying. They call it, now it's consequence culture. Yeah, we're witnessing the most brazen attack on free speech in modern American history. Elon, Trump, and MAGA said they were free speech warriors. It's the exact opposite. Well, let's see. So, breaking, Tommy Robinson has just been released from prison, and first thing he did was thank Elon Musk for allowing free speech on X. Let's see. Where were all you free speech people when ABC canceled Tim Allen? His show Last Man Standing had insanely high ratings. He got canceled because he's a Republican. So you have fools at CBS willing to lose $50 million a year on Colbert that nobody watches, and ABC was willing to cancel a show that was doing unbelievable because one person is Republican and one is a Democrat. Is that considered free speech? No, it's bad business and masochism. And let's see. Let me see what this says. So they're stunned and blindsided by the network. I called home for the last 6 years. Last Man Standing, official Tim Allen. Let's see what else. And then you got to be real careful around here. You get beat up if you don't believe. Ugh, why is this thing over here? That's stupid. Anyway, if you don't believe what everybody else believes, this is like 30s Germany. Wow. That's from Tim Allen. Remember when Gina Carano was fired by ABC over a post about free speech during COVID? I do. People who are blaming Trump for canceling Kimmel's show and crying about free speech don't have the brain power to understand how wrong they are. Don't waste your time. Definitely don't bother showing them these press releases from the broadcasting groups who actually did it. Yeah, we just read through that. Company objects to talk show host comments on killing of Charlie Kirk. Yeah. We pretty much read this. So this is Benny, and it says, this is the perfect snapshot of what the modern Democrat Party stands for: criminal alien, Muslim terrorist, burning innocent American lives or Americans alive for their free speech under a transgender flag, and a Democrat district judge will block his deportation. America is done with this. And that was some attack at something. Let's see, Keir Starmer. We're proud to have free speech in the UK, also the UK. Countries with the highest number of arrests for online comments in 2023. So 12,100 and 83, United Kingdom. I didn't know that these countries, 50. What the hell did they do here in the US? Let's see. The lion is awake. The roar is deafening in London as millions take to the streets against the erosion of our free speech and against those paid to lead us, giving our countries away. No more patriotism is the future. The future belongs to us. I don't know if you know anything about what's going on in the UK, but I think they have problems with women being harassed and mistreated. I'll just call it that. Jimmy Kimmel getting fired for what he said is the largest attack on free speech ever. Odd, because here's a small taste of the celebrities canceled the last 10 years by the same people crying right now. Let's see. Oh, Roseanne Barr, Tucker, Shane Gillis, Gina Carano, J.K. Rowling, Pierce Morgan, Dave Chappelle, Megyn Kelly, Hulk Hogan, and then Chris Harrison. Let's see, fired from her rebooted ABC sitcom after a tweet comparing Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett to an ape and Planet of the Apes character, sparking widespread accusations of racism. Oh my God, I didn't know that's what it was for. Tucker Carlson ended his primetime show amid advertiser boycotts and internal pressure over his promotion of replacement theory, immigration rhetoric, and election denialism, viewed as fueling white nationalism. Now, Shane Gillis dropped as a host from NBC's Saturday Night Live days after announcement due to resurfaced podcast clips with racist jokes about Asians and homophobic remarks, leading to progressive outcry over insensitivity. Jennifer Carano is fired from Disney's The Mandalorian for Instagram posts and comparing Republican persecution to the Holocaust, mocking pronouns, and questioning COVID measures, labeled as transphobic and conspiratorial. Okay, J.K. Rowling faced boycotts, death threats, and backlash from Harry Potter cast and fans for tweets arguing that trans women pose risks to women's spaces in sports, deemed transphobic by the LGBTQ plus advocates. And then Pierce Morgan quit ITV's Good Morning Britain after 41,000 Ofcom complaints, I guess, for dismissing Meghan Markle's suicidal ideation claims as self-victimization, seen as racist and misogynistic towards a black royal. And then Netflix special, The Closer. Oh, this is Dave Chappelle. Okay. Netflix special, The Closer, Drew Glad, gay, lesbian, something. I don't know. I've seen it. I've heard it before. Condemnation and employee walkouts for transphobic jokes, including dead naming and comparing trans women to Team Turf. I don't know what that is. Despite strong viewership, Megyn Kelly, NBC canceled her talk show after defending blackface costumes as part of the culture on Halloween, igniting fury over racial insensitivity from progressives. And then Hulk Hogan, WWE terminated his contract and removed him from Hall of Fame after a leaked sex tape revealed racial slurs against Black people, leading to a temporary cancellation before partial reinstatement. And then Chris Harrison, I don't know who that is, stepped down as host of The Bachelor. Okay. After defending a contestant who attended an Old South antebellum party with racial themes. And I don't know what the rest of that says. This looks like what ChatGPT will put out there. But anyway, there's a lot of people that have been canceled. Okay. Breaking Jamie Ratskin. Man, he put Ratskin too. I say his name is Ratskin. Just said there is free speech crisis in America today, but there's no free speech crisis in Britain. I think you know that that's incorrect, sir. This is an admission that Democrats would love nothing more to lock up Americans if yes, Americans for the social media posts that they deem offensive. If these crooks ever get back into power, you can kiss our First and Second Amendment rights away. This was from the third. Okay, so let's see. American Democrat communists seem to forget that although the U.S. Oh, excuse me, that although in the U.S. we have the right of free speech, we do not have the right to be free of consequences. If you applaud the political assassination of Charlie Kirk, then you are not to be trusted. It says right here, I can't believe they fired me for a few ill-advised posts on social media about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Maybe sometimes being respectful is more important than trying to score political points. The Constitution guarantees my right to free speech. Yes, and also your right to remain silent. Well, that's pretty good. I'll repost that. Okay, for all those sudden free speech advocates crying over crying about Jimmy Kimmel, I believe the real Roseanne would like a word. I remember tons of leftists not very concerned about fascism then. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so the same leftists who are screaming about free speech being under attack are the same ones who had no problem with the Biden administration coordinating with social media companies to censor conservative speech. I remember hearing Mark Zuckerberg talk about
this. They pushed us super hard to take down things that were honestly were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
that talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration. I think these people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like they push it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they did that during the time of COVID in the Biden administration. What more? You got it straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, so blah blah blah. Okay, free speech, Islamic Marxist Zohran Madami, whatever his name is, running for NYC mayor, tried to get Charlie Kirk banned from speaking in the city back in 2023. Mamdani, Donnie, whatever, is now complaining that Jimmy Kimmel's free speech rights are being infringed. Zoran Mandami sought to ban Charlie Kirk from speaking in NYC. The same far-left activists decrying Jimmy Kimmel's cancellation as a violation of free speech were very comfortable denying Charlie Kirk's free speech rights. In 2023, Zoran Mandami, Donnie, whatever, how the hell you say it, Mom Domley, I don't know, I'm not even care, labeled Charlie Kirk a far-right extremist who should be canceled from speaking in NYC, expressing disappointment that Motif Studios hosted an event by Blexit and TP USA in Long Island City, and declaring that hate has no home in Queens, New York City. Anyway, Julio doesn't understand the First Amendment. First Amendment protects you against the government. It does not protect you from your private employer code of conduct agreement you signed. Shocking how many are now learning about what they signed. It says First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the rights of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for the redress of grievances. So, yeah. Yep. So all this nonsense about, free speech is under attack. No, I mean, you're just getting the consequences of your actions. Let's see. It's hilarious watching Dems scream about censorship, especially given conservatives' free speech was shut down on all social media platforms by Biden's weaponized FBI, newsflash, Dems, you can't slander a person or use hate speech to incite violence. That's illegal. Your employer can legally fire you for far less reasons. I can't wait to hear Jimmy Kimmel's apology for slandering MAGA. We're waiting. That's pretty good. Okay. Tim, free speech, Sweeney. When someone says a slur in Fortnite ban, I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Oh, the CEO of Epic Games says that mocking Charlie Kirk's death is unproblematic because it's protected by the Constitution. Actually, no. Oh, to leftist screaming, they shouldn't be losing their jobs because of free speech. This message is for you. Anyone who cheers the assassination of a political opponent has no business working with children in healthcare or any position of consequence. This isn't cancel culture. It's about protecting society from the mentally unhinged and morally depraved. Such people must never be trusted with decision-making authority. Exactly. All right. And then Jimmy Kimmel getting fired is not the greatest attack on free speech we've ever seen. Charlie Kirk being murdered on national television by a radicalized leftist who didn't like the things Charlie said is the greatest attack on free speech we've ever seen. I totally agree with that. Getting fired is not an attack on free speech. Getting killed is. Yep. Same. Let's see. What is this one? Okay, so breaking an American cancer patient and Trump supporter was confronted by British police and told to apologize for her online post or face an investigation. Deborah Anderson, hold on, why is this here? Deborah Anderson, mother of two, was visited at her home in June by an officer from Thames Valley. Or Thames Valley. I don't know how you say that. The Thames River. He told her someone had lodged a complaint about her social media post. She told him she was an American citizen and a member of this free speech union, and he should be investigating burglaries and rapes, not hurdy words on social media. Chillingly, he told her he was there to get her to apologize to the person who was offended by her post. If she refused, she'd be questioned down at the station. What was Deborah's supposed crime? The policeman didn't tell her. Was it her passionate support of President Trump and the MAGA movement on her Facebook and X pages? To make it worse, Deborah is in the midst of cancer treatment, including chemotherapy. She ought to have been convalescing. She ought to have been convalescing. Instead, she was harassed for her tweets. The FSU took on her case, and as a result, the police have now dropped their investigation, but they still haven't told Deborah which of her posts got her in trouble, claiming they've accidentally deleted the record of the complaint. Thames Valley police are responsible for guarding President Trump this week. What would he make of the fact that those same officers are visiting the homes of his supporters, including U.S. citizens, and threatening them with arrest? Let's see the exchange here.
You can come in, but you better have a damn good reason for being here. I'm a member of the Free Speech Union, and I'm an American citizen. I'll have Elon Musk on you so quick your feet won't touch.
Something that we believe you've written on Facebook has upset someone.
You're here because somebody got upset. Is it against the law? Am I being arrested?
You're not being arrested.
Then what are you doing here?
My plan was, if you mentioned that it was you who wrote the comment, you could just make an apology to the person.
I'm not apologizing to anybody. I can tell you that.
The relative would be that I have to call you for an interview. I'm here to talk to you about the allegation. They've reported it to the police.
So what?
Obviously, we get a lot of reports like that.
Are there no houses that have been burgled recently? No rapes, no murders?
Yeah, that's all going on as well.
Well, then why aren't you out there doing, investigating those?
Because I want to investigate everything that is reported.
Well, you're not investigating houses being burgled.
No, that's not my job today. Would you like to have a look at the comment behind?
I don't need to. I know exactly the things I've said. You know how many people in this neighborhood have been broken into?
I don't know if I'm.
No, of course you don't. Unless there's a tweet, then you do. So what? I haven't broken any laws. So you're going to be wasting your time when you can be instead doing things that are more important.
That's why I wanted to just come to you directly, have a chat.
No. You should not be doing this. I'm a cancer patient. You can see that because I'm
Well, I
bald.
didn't know that before I came, but it doesn't change or break laws. If you break the law, then nothing happens.
Well, you know whether I've broken a law. You can judge for yourself before you even show up at my door. The public knows what you guys are doing. We know what's going on in this country. Why don't you do that? Get on to them and tell them to apologize to me, a cancer patient, a woman living on her own, who has never broken a law in her life, by the way, ever. An older woman, you tell them, I'm an elderly woman, I'm a cancer patient.
I have to come back and then arrange an interview then.
Well, you can arrange it, but I'm going to tell you the same damn things that I'm telling you now. Next time, I'm going to have a free speech union lawyer with me.
That's nuts. That is crazy. Okay. Now, Greg Gutfeld just nuked Jessica Tarloff. I showed y'all that yesterday. Once again, after she whined that Jimmy Kimmel having his show pulled is a free speech issue for the right. You have a right to be wrong. The company you work for has a right to pull you for it. And then pretty easy lift. You have a right to be wrong. The company you work for has a right to pull you for it. The heavy lifting is on your end, or you would have made your case. Free speech advocates on the right have a lot of heavy lifting to do. Excuse me. Breaking ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely following comments he made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murder. And then imagine being one of these 4 rhinos who betrayed Charlie Kirk and all decent Americans hiding behind disingenuous claims about free speech. They refuse to censure a public figure who is a vicious anti-American radical only celebrating political assassination. They're cowards. Yeah. Inciting violence is not free speech, it's criminal behavior. And then libs are freaking out about free speech now only because they get used to being all mouthy and shutting everyone else down with their media apparatus. Those days are over and it's about time. Yep, they're finding out for sure. Yep. Yeah, I'm just reposting these. Okay. Just a PSA to the Democrats. You're crying about cancel culture. You're crying about your free speech when conservatives didn't use your pronouns. You had them mass canceled and fired. For those saying that is not what Charlie would wanted. Yes, yes, right here in black and white. F your rules. It's our turn. Freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences. The left has never played by our rules. Only we play by our rules. Our rules are what keeps our side from winning. We either want to win or we will lose under some delusion that the rules mean anything. Yeah, I mean, they don't play by the same rules. So celebrating Charlie Kirk's death is free speech. No shit, Sherlock. That's why you haven't been arrested. That doesn't mean your employer has to keep your dumbass on the payroll. And with that, I think we're done with that for right now. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.